Kimya stands in front of Yumin, the idol he supports. Correction, the idol only he supports, but the greeting he receives is not a cute and pleasant one, but a sarcastic tone. Nonetheless, he congratulates her on the concert and explains that he bought the CD and got a minute to talk to her. Despite her sarcastic tone, Kimya is aware that there is no point in the time limit as he is the only one in front of her booth. The reason is simple. Rin's idol group is not famous, and her singing and dancing are the worst. What's more is that she is not really honest about what she truly thinks. An example of such dishonesty is present in this interaction as well. She notes that Kimya always arrives at the concert in black from head to toe. He explains that he does so because black is her main color. She says that the black color suits someone plain like him. Not minding her twisted compliment, Kimya says that he has something to say to her today. Yumin is surprised by his serious tone all of a sudden. Kimya remains serious as he points out that she is really clumsy. For example, in today's dances, she was always one beat behind, and in the final pose, she should not have jumped to the side. He even dares to say to her idol to listen to the music properly. Yumin had enough of his insults, so she snaps at him and asks if he just paid money to come and berate her. However, Kimya cuts her off to say that even if she cannot dance, the way she desperately tries and does her best is so cute. Even Rin is surprised to hear such praise directed towards her. But before she can say anything, a staff member comes to tell Kimya that his time for the meetup is over. Kimya does his final greeting of always supporting her and moves on. Once she is alone, Rin thinks that he likes her a little too much. In the next concert, Rin was doing her best as usual, and Kimya obviously cried at the scene. Yumin is shocked and points at Kimya's chest. He is glad that she noticed the necklace he is wearing today. It is a selfie that she took, which was only available at the first ever concert she performed. It was so badly taken that the comments she got were that she looked like a cute earthbound spirit and should take it again to cover the loss. Yumin tells him to throw those embarrassing pictures away, but he is already treating them like family treasures, earning a long shriek from his favorite idol. Her name is Yumin, the idol Kimya supports. Correction again, the idol only he supports. The reason is quite simple. Both her singing and dancing suck because she is clumsy, so like a diehard fan, Kimya praises her even when she is a beat late to the music. What he gets in return is a shut up. Yumin is pissed off because Kimya patronizes her even though he supports her. He caught her off guard, so she is going to make his heart go doi doi as well. In an attempt to do that, she makes a foul face at him, which leaves all the fans wondering if she stepped on a Lego block. Only Kimya could decipher that she was trying to wink at him. As clumsy as she is, she thinks she nailed the job, so when her eyes meet with Kimya's, he tries to ask if she cannot wink as well. However, Yumin is unable to hear him in such loud music and noise, so he copies what she did a while ago to ask if she cannot wink. She laughs at the stupid face he just pulled. Kimya earns the attention of a nearby fan as he moves his hands and starts shedding tears. The nearby fan calls him Hente Otaku and hands him a tissue. Hente Otaku is one that cheers for their idols so much that they physically hurt themselves. Kimya has no regrets in his life after watching that beautiful smile. Later, Rin is still wondering what made Kimya pull that weird face, not realizing her own disastrous wink. At the after-concert greeting party, Rin finally asks him about the funny face he pulled. Kimya tells her that he just copied what she did, but Yumin makes fun of him that he is really bad at winking, as he was not even close to imitating her. Kimya finds her so adorable for not even realizing her own shortcomings. Kimya asks her to give her best wink for the next shot, and she accepts the challenge happily. She poses for the camera, but even the staff member taking the picture is feeling awkward at her funny face, aka wink. He is even kind enough to ask Kimya if he really wants the picture. Kimya absolutely wants it, but Yumin also wants to see it. She freezes after looking at her own picture and asks to retake the picture. However, Kimya is a cruel lover who has hearts in his eyes as he refuses her boldly. Kimya calls out to a fan named Everest and gives him a postcard of the idol Aru. Everest is beyond happy, but Kimya does not think much of his deed as he just happened to get the postcard and thinks that one of her fans should have it. However, the fan is too grateful, so he hands him a 2-shot Yumin Polaroid ticket. Yumin notices her only fan, Arv, dressed in all black as usual. He even looks glum as he gives the ticket to the staff. Yumin does notice the glumness, but she is also excited about her first 2-shot. She tells him that she is going to give him a heart as well because it is rare for him to get a 2-shot. He always gets a solo photo normally. Kimya says that he is fine with whatever pose she wants. Yumin thinks internally that he surely wants the heart pose from her and that she can give him this special service. But when the shot is taken, Rin is doing a heart, but Kimya is doing a thumbs up. Yumin is so shocked to be hung up like that. She is the idol, and he is the fan. Does he not understand that? However, Kimya says that it is not like all otaku want to be lovey-dovey with their idols. Besides, he is not good at having his photos taken. Yumin is surprised that Mr. Black, who is always pointing out her flaws, is bad at something. Yumin feels smug as she tells him that she can teach him a thing or two. Kimya is shocked that someone clumsy like Yumin is going to teach him something. Yumin does not take any offense, but she does warn him that if he does not pose a heart for the next shot, she is going to deck him. She gives him some pointers on tilting his head, looking at the camera, and keeping his back straight. They take the next shot, and Kimya looks perfect. Yumin is shocked that he overcame that too quickly. He looks perfect while her eyes are half shut. Kimya tells her she is not perfect because she is clumsy, Yumin. Yumin is pissed off because her fan is better at taking pictures than her. Later, Kimya observes the picture and finds it cute, but thinks that the guy on the left is in the way. Yumin is thinking of writing something on the two-shot postcard. Just 1 hour ago, Rin and her fellow group member Aru were peeking from behind the stage curtain to see that the audience is not as much as last time. But Rin's only fan is present in the front. Yumin says that he really has a lot of free time, but her friend chastises her not to be like this. She asks about his name, but Yumin does not know. Her friend gets angry at her for not knowing the name of her only fan when he has been coming here for the last 3 months. She cannot take the love of her fans so lightly. Aru tells her to call him by his name today as a fan service. Rin thinks that she needs to do as she says. His Aru is too serious this time. She commands Kimya to tell them his name because she is going to write a message to him. She even uses words like thyself and thee for the impact. Kimya has never heard an idol using these words and wonders if she is a samurai. She tells her that his name is Okuda Kimya. To Yumin, this sounds like his real name, and she shouts at him for giving such personal information so easily. He should have used his handle name or a nickname or something else. What is he going to do if she was a scammer? Kimya is not worried about it in the slightest because even the world's best scam would not work if she tried it. Yumin returns to the job at hand and writes his name on the first 2 shots. She gives it to him and tells him to be grateful but ends up calling him Siwahai as in cows. He verifies if he heard correctly, but Yumin denies such things. Kimya thinks aloud that he better go to the town hall after this and change his name to CYA. Hearing that, Yumin panics and admits that she just misspoke. Well, it does not bother him if she remembers him by Kimya, or something else, or if she forgets his name altogether. Rather than using her memory to memorize his name, she should use it to remember the lyrics and the dance moves. He even says that she will probably forget his name next week, but Rin cuts him off to say that she would not forget his name even without his reminder. She is going to remember his name. Kimya is so touched that he thinks only his real name is not enough. So he is ready to give her the bank card PIN number, safety deposit box, and location. Yumin refuses to take any of them, but Kimya wants to be called by his name desperately. Yumin is open to fans after her group got good reviews at the after-show fan meet and greet, but no one is coming to talk to her, even though she would be more than happy to talk to whatever kind of otaku. She is thinking that the only fan she has is Kimya, but someone else comes to talk to her. The one to arrive is Everest, one of Aru's fans. She is shocked to find him in front of her and thinks aloud if he jumped ship. But Everest pours cold water on her expectations when he tells her that he just got a random ticket. A random ticket is one of the goods sold at after-concert meet and greets. A random draw ticket to speak to whichever member is written. It is not possible to choose or change the idol member. Everest awkwardly says that she was cute today, but Yumin tells him that is just idle flattery. They experience a stunted conversation because otaku generally are not interested in any other members besides the one they support. If they come to talk with someone other than their favorite, a subject to talk about is not readily available. They are at a complete loss. Everest apologizes because he cannot deny that there is only a Ru in his heart. Yumin internally panics for what she just said. She is just not upfront about her feelings, which adds another level to her clumsiness. Every night, she feels dejected about the things she said. She wants to make things right, so she thanks him, but this also ends in awkwardness. Yumin wants to keep the conversation going, so she tells him that Aru had a char-grilled ribs lunchbox. Everest finds it so cute and blabbers more about Aru. Yumin notices the change of attitude and wants to cry. In the end, all they talked about was Aru. Yumin has her head down when someone arrives and asks for the ticket. She looks up to find Kimya in front of her and becomes excited as if she is the fan and he is the idol. She complains that he is late, and Kimya tells her that he wanted to buy the new merchandise before coming here. He could not decide what to buy and ended up buying everything. Everything in the bag is black because that is Rin's signature color. Another fan asks Everest about his talk with Yumin. He says that she is all blunder as usual. It is no wonder that Kimya suits her better than anyone. It is better to look at them from the sidelines as both of them are loved when together. It is a kind of word that humanity should aim towards. The band is heading towards the last song for the night, but it is so hot today, and the weather is pretty heavy inside because it is the battle of the bands, and the fans of other groups are also present. And Yumin is not looking good as she tries to remember the dance moves. She looks at the crowd in front of her and completely forgets the lyrics. Everyone present realizes that, and Aru is about to help her, but Kimya beats her to it and starts saying the lyrics loudly. Yumin follows the lead and sings along in the mic. After a while, she points at him and says that she does know the lyrics, so he does not need to remind her. After the event, Kimya thinks that he pushed himself a little too much, but all is well since it ended well. Yumin was clumsy today as well as usual, and she calls for him. She is crouching on the stage, and after looking around, she thanks Kimya. She then stands up and tells him to come to the meet and greet before going back. A fan of a rival band notices that he got some great fan service and congratulates him. Yumin is not particularly good at fan service. She was just being herself, but even then, Kimya is so happy that he could die. Of course, he would be so happy, but Yumin is really clumsy to show her innerwear like that. That was a bit too much fan service. Kimya has been constantly thinking about the time he was able to see Rin's innerwear, but he still comes to greet her afterwards. Yumin is also happy that he came as she told him to, but Kimya does a critical hit as he tells her that he only lives to see her. He also points out that she forgot the lyrics, but that was expected of her. Yumin thinks that he is going to lecture her, but Kimya only says that it could not be helped because it was so hot today. Yumin is shocked because normally he would tell her to memorize the lyrics and stop being clumsy. Kimya wants to say something else but stops. If he saw them, it would be like he is humiliating her. But to make sure it never happens again, he needs to tell her. So he picks up the courage to tell her that he saw her panties, so she should be more careful when she crouches down. Yumin finally realizes what he is talking about and says that he is talking about her innerwear. Well, they are dancing in miniskirts, so wearing such is a given. It is not like this is her actual underwear, so she does not really care. Kimya is beyond shocked to find that those were not her actual underwear, but the thing he saw was a tighty-whitey deception. Yumin also notices his shock and laughs at him for thinking that he actually thought he saw her actual panties. She jokingly asks if he really wants to see her panties that much. Kimya admits while crying, while Yumin gets angry as she asks where all his gentlemanliness goes. Kimya says that there are times when you lose something that is important to you. He even repeats that he wanted to see them, and Yumin gets angry again, but he defends himself by saying that he is just repeating what she said. It is not like he wants to see a couple of girls' underwear. No, don't misunderstand. He just wants to see the panties. Yumin tells him to shut up. The time for the meet and greet is over, so she tells him to go home and take a cold shower. After he is gone, Yumin wonders if he thinks he can say anything to her now. She then goes to the toilets. She is still thinking that it is fine since she is wearing the innerwear. However, when she looks down, she sweats because she is wearing her panties. It seems like the victory still belongs to Okuda Kimya. Kimya is in college, looking through this month's concert schedule, when his friend Kutani calls out to him. He wraps his hand around Kimya's shoulder as he asks to borrow some cash. One may expect that Kimya is being bullied, but he pokes at his friend's eyes as he denies him any money. He even tells him to give back the 500 yen that he borrowed last week. Kutani gives a lame excuse and says that he left his wallet at home and does not even have the money to buy cheap snacks. Kimya points out the piece stuck at his mouth, and Kutani uses his tongue to eat that piece. Kimya wonders why he is friends with an idiot like him. Kutani asks what he is listening to, and Kimya tells him that he is listening to idol music. Kutani says that he does not seem like the type to listen to such things and asks which group he supports. Kimya tells him about Yumin, but Kutani thinks that the name sounds like an African athlete. Kimya tells him that Yumin is the one he supports, but Kutani has probably never heard of her and asks if she runs track and field. Kimya asks him to forget about the athletic part. Kutani wants to see the Yumin that his friend stands so much and gets hyped up when Kimya says that she is super pretty. Kimya shows her first selfie that causes Kutani to shriek, and he asks if he just showed the picture of a ghost. Kimya admits that she can be a little unphotogenic, but when he looks at her, she is just so cute. Kutani horribly asks what he is looking at. Kimya is riding the train, looking through his phone. Today's concert is in Shibuya at 7 o'clock, and there is plenty of time until then. He plans to swing by the supermarket as he is out of condiments anyway. He remembers that a new music video was released today and watches it, finding the sneezing human too cute. There is a caution in the description that says that a guy has been spotted taking creep shots and being overly touchy-feely. He is often seen wearing a baseball cap, and everyone is advised to be cautious. The group leader, Aru, thinks that their band, Merry Universe, is getting in a rut. Muchan kindly elaborates that it means sticking to the same format, becoming stereotyped, and losing the interest of the fans. Aru thanks Muchan for elaborating. It has been 6 months since they debuted, and so far, they have basically got the performances down pat. Aru asks if they are already used to being idols, and everyone affirms except for Yumin, who thinks that she is only getting started on it. They still do not know if Popo-chan lost interest completely or is just running late today. However, it is times like these that they step up their game for the fans. Aru asks what their current audience size is and points at Yumin. She panics a bit, but says that it is around 20. Aru gets agitated as she says that even if they count themselves in, they are just enough to fill up a classroom. That is the result of their current audience draw. Muchan says that they also know each one of the fans, so it really is like a classroom. Aru takes back the lead and says that the current vibe with the fans is important, but she wants to see it on a much greater stage than the one they are on, with everyone looking happy as they look at them on the stage. She thinks that the idols are here to make as many people happy as possible. Everyone feels touched after her speech, but then Aru turns dark as she says that from the deepest depths to the absolute peak, they shall burn brightly. Muchan is not as fired up as Aru, but the more fans they get, the more height they get, so she likes the plan. Rin wants a big stage, so they all ask the remaining member, Yumin, about what she wants. Yumin never really thought about it because she was always focused on Kimya and tried her absolute best for him to acknowledge her. But she does not let it out and dryly says that the more fans they have, the better. The Tsuno leader, Aru, notices her dejection and tries to cheer her up by saying that she is good because she has her own dedicated fan, so she should keep going to get more fans and do her best. Yumin smiles, but on the inside, she thinks what would Kimya think if she gets more fans. But then if she got famous, she would be able to see a lot of black penlights in the crowd. He did say that he supports her, so it should be all fine. A creep with a baseball cap arrives at the arena for Merry Universe, but no one notices. Kimya came to the concert as usual and praises Yumin for her hard work, but he does not hesitate to say that she was louder than usual and even missed keys sometimes. Yumin tells him to shut up, but he does not obey her and says that she surely is improving little by little. He is always watching and supporting her, so he can tell. Yumin feels smug after the praise and says that she is always practicing, so of course she would get better. She then comes to the topic of getting more fans and says that if she gets more popular, they will not be able to talk like this anymore. On the inside, she is wondering how he would react. Kimya is about to say something, but is interrupted by a rude person who arrives from behind and asks if Kimya is still not finished because he has been talking for quite a while. They turn to look at a creepy guy with a baseball cap who extends a hand to greet Yumin. The creepy guy arrives, and the staff tells Kimya to move along because his time is over. Kimya says his farewell and moves, but he can feel a strange feeling from the new guy, and he also looks familiar. As Kimya is passing near him, he hears him say that it works better for him since there is not much staff around. Hearing that, Kimya remembers the caution about the creepy guy with a baseball cap and instantly connects the dots that he is the mentioned person. Everest comes closer to Kimya, all happy that Yumin got a new fan, but Kimya cuts him off and tells him that the guy looks overly similar to the guy mentioned in the caution on the platform. Everest is also worried and asks if Yumin is okay, but Kimya does not know, and it is not like he can just act upon the rumors. There are not that many staff members for Merry Universe, and that is why the staff has started trusting the fans a little too much and has gotten complacent. Kimya is shocked to see the guy's hand on Yumin's shoulder. Fortunately, the staff comes to tell the guy that his time is over. Everest is hyped up as well and finds the creepy guy guilty, but Kimya is already gone. Kimya rushes to the ticket booth and asks for a ticket for a minute talk with Yumin. He wants to make sure if that guy actually touched her and why she did not move. Usually, she would not just leave it at that. Even when they first met, she was a lot more standoffish towards new people. All this is due to the fact that Kimya does not know what actually happened. When the creepy guy came to greet Yumin, she instantly turned reserved and pointed out that he was new here. Even she feels a little bothered that a new face showed up now of all times. She has been bent on getting a new fan, so she thanks him, but the creepy fan cuts her off to say that he watched the performance just now and noticed that she is not needed. He does not even know of her signature color and has the audacity to say that no one was waving her color around here. He says that he would do the favor of supporting her because she is too pitiful. He even laughs hysterically as he says that she should be happy about it. Yumin finds a guy scary, but he keeps saying that she needs him. Yumin tries to deny him, but he cuts her off once more and says that she should not talk to him like that when he paid the money to talk to her. He tells her that she is not good at anything, so she should think about what is good for the group. Yumin is stunned as she is reminded of the dreams of her group. The creepy guy also notices her shock and tries to approach her as he says that she is so pathetic that she is cute. But fortunately, the staff member arrives to tell him that his time is over, so the creepy guy quickly retrieves his hand. He then leaves in a rush while saying that he will be back in a while. Yumin is still too stunned to move as all the negative feelings envelop her. But she is taken back into the present as Kimya comes to ask if she is all right. He clutches at his shirt as he asks if the guy touched her. Yumin tells him that he did not, and Kimya visibly feels relieved. He tells Yumin that he might be naive, but he thinks that the guy is dangerous, so she should tell the staff about it. Yumin does not seem to be listening to him, and instead asks if he also thought that she was pitiful when he first saw her and decided to patronize her with his support. Kimya notices her say, also, and desperately tells her that he would never think like that about her. The time is up for their talk, and the creepy guy comes back and tells Kimya to move away as he is bothering other fans. Kimya is about to go away, but Yumin tugs at his shirt and tells him to save her while crying. Yumin tells Kimya to save her, but the creepy guy tells him to move out as his time is over. The staff member notices the mishap and tells them to leave if they are going to argue. Kimya puts his hands in his pocket to take out his phone and show to the guy and the staff the post of the guy for being a suspicious person. The staff member is shocked to see the post, and Kimya even tells them that the creepy guy tried to touch Yumin just now. The creepy guy just smiles even more creepily as he asks Kimya if he is not embarrassed to be acting all white knightly. Even if it looked like that, they do not have any proof that he tried to touch her. The staff members ask Yumin if he touched her, and she tells them he did not. The creepy guy cuts her off once more and says that the post was posted by an anonymous user, so it is hardly credible. He even has the audacity to say that all these false accusations are hurtful. Kimya can feel that something is not right about this guy. The other fans also start noticing that something is happening at Yumin's stall, and one of them even recognizes the creepy guy that was posted for caution. The staff member does not have any solid proof and asks the two of them to step out, but Yumin nervously comes forward to say that even if the guy did not touch her, he did say a lot of mean things, and he is really scary, and then she trips in Yumin style and lands on the creepy guy's camera. Kimya and the staff member call out to her and worry as she falls on the ground. Yumin scolds herself for tripping at such a critical moment, and Kimya comes to help her, but the creepy guy shouts at her for attempting to damage his camera and potentially losing his data. Kimya observes that even though photos are prohibited at the meet and greet events, the creepy guy kept on holding the DSLR in a strange way with the lens cap off. It was as if he was trying to find the right angle, and asks if he is recording right now. The staff member snatches the camera from the creepy guy because they also want to see the precious data right here, right now. The staff member finds that the camera is still recording, and even the LCD screen is carefully kept hidden. The staff asks the creepy guy to come with them, but the creep keeps saying that it is all Yumin's fault for tripping. He gets free from the staff member's hold and attacks Yumin, but Kimya comes in front of Yumin to save her and gets smacked in the face. Kimya says that he should be the one to feel ashamed for being so pathetic for getting angry at an otaku's words and then attempting to hit a girl. The creepy guy is taken away by the staff. Afterwards, at the backstage, Yumin comes with a first aid kit. Kimya thinks that he should have given him a good right hook. However, Yumin laughs at him because they both know that Kimya is not the type to do that. Kimya tells her that he can clean his wound himself, but Yumin wants to do it herself. Even the staff said it was all right since they trust Kimya now. So she orders him to close his eyes. Kimya obeys and closes his eyes to be treated. Yumin gets on with doing the job and thinks that Kimya is always watching her, always there to support her, and even there to save her. It is always Kimya. She realizes and is pleasantly surprised to see his face so close. Yumin kept on thinking about Kimya so much that he even appeared in her dreams as well, calling her name. She wakes up to her alarm, still dazed by the sleep and the dreams. Her mother calls her to come downstairs for breakfast, so she finds herself towards the table without actually waking up from her daze. Her mother tells her to wash her hands and face, but her dazed self is unable to register that. Her mother excitedly tells her that she cracked open a 2-yolk egg and that something good might happen today. However, Yumin is so sleepy that she calls out Kimya's name. Hearing the name of another boy from Yumin's mouth, both the mother and the brother are beyond shocked. Her mother shakes her to ask about the boy, but the brother is shocked that his sister finally got herself a guy. Even as Yumin is riding the bus, she keeps on thinking about Kimya. Besides his name, she does not know anything about him because he only talks about her, so through the whole day of campus, she keeps on thinking about him. The next concert is not until next week, and she wonders if his glasses are fixed. That time when she was blushing, looking at his face so close. He opened his eyes and came even closer because he is blind as a bat without his glasses and asked why she stopped. Now Yumin finally realizes that she has been thinking only about him all day. Yumin is an idol and Kimya is the fan, so as an idol, she should be the one to capture his heart, but she is the one always in panic. Though her friends notice her gloominess and ask if she messed up something again, Yumin, the ever-honest person, tells them that she just cannot seem to get someone out of her mind. Her friends are shocked at first, but then start interrogating her. If the person actually exists is a boy, and if her chest gets tight when thinking of him. Yumin answers everything honestly, so her friends are able to decipher that she is in puppy love, but one friend stops the other from telling that to Yumin because, from the past 1 year that they know Yumin, they have come to know that Yumin is the heaven-sent child of clumsiness. So even if they were to tell her the answer, her clumsiness circuit might short out and fry her systems. For now, they have to let her realize her own feelings. Yumin asks what they have been whispering about, but the friends tell her that they are rooting for her and to let them know when her heart starts beating faster. At the same campus cafe, Kimya also arrives as it seems he goes to the same college as Yumin. He is together with Kut-ani, who notices that there is something different about Kimya because he changed his glasses. Kimya is amazed that he could tell because these glasses are his spare ones, but the frame is the same as the previous one. Kut-ani makes a cool and sparkly pose to say that any change in Kimya would not go unnoticed by him, and every little change is crystal clear to him. Kimya finds it cringe, but Kut-ani is offended that he got a single-word reply, and Kimya really has a talent to hurt the feelings of others. Kimya finds it a shame that he only has Kut-ani to demonstrate that ability. Yumin and her friends are getting up when she notices someone like Kimya on the campus, but the guy turns around, and she finds that it is someone else. She scolds herself that there is no way that Kimya would be here, but soon notices another Kimya nearby, but this time it is actually a girl that looks like him. She scolds herself harsher this time for thinking that he could be here in the first place. Her friends call out to her, and she decides to leave, but passes near the real Kimya and his friend who were deciding to sit at a table. But she thinks that it could not be Kimya as the boy is standing next to a bleach-blonde playboy. She leaves finally. When Kimya and Kut-ani settle down, Kut-ani holds up his hands and asks how many fingers he is holding up while Kimya does not have his glasses on. Kimya simply asks who he is, and Kut-ani thinks that the glasses are eating at his brain. Of course, Kimya was only kidding because this kind of thing happens all the time. The concert is taking place nicely and enthusiastically under the leadership of Aru. Aru even stays behind to practice a bit longer than the others. Her real name is Nori, and she is in her 20s, born in the North Kanto countryside. She grew up quite strong-willed, and for various reasons, she moved to Tokyo to become an idol, and now as Aru of Merry Universe, she is working hard every day. But no matter what she does, their fans are not increasing. She cannot even solve this problem using her fists like before, and that is what makes it all the more interesting. She plans to reach the freaking top. She lets herself loose every now and then. A few months ago, the group was thinking of changing the venue because not many people come around here. So even if they hand out the flyers, there is no point, and this is the only place that got the permission. Yumin points towards the problem of all. There are thugs roaming around the area, so everyone is avoiding this place. Aru decides to go and ask them to move. Yumin is worried about her that going by herself is dangerous, but Aru says that they have already printed out the flyers, so this problem needs to be solved. Muchan and Yumin kind of figured it out that she does not need any protection. Aru goes to the gang, making them think that she is here to have fun with them. However, she tells them straightly that they are bothering other people and need to move somewhere else. The thugs realize that she is not here to hit on them. One of the thugs rudely tells her that just because she is a little cute does not mean that he would not throw hands with her. He even peeks under her miniskirt as he asks what she is going to do to him in a little skirt. What he gets in reply is a knee to the face that has him flying over the distance. His companions chastise him not to look under a girl's skirt. A girl's sanctuary is off limits. The one to be hit praises the strength of the knee and is reminded of something. He trembles as he says that she is no doubt an IE, the battle god of the North Kanto. He is trembling like a newborn lamb when Aru starts walking towards him. She grabs him by the face and warns him to never speak of that name again. Because the battle god is dead, the other thugs come to support their brother and aim to calm Aru down. She tells them calmly that this is not a place to hang out, and if they do not have a place, they can come with her. They extend their hands as they can see the goddess in her. She hands them the flyers, and they are shocked that she is trying to get fans. They also keep calling her battle goddess. So she tells them to shut up and not call her the battle goddess. They ask what they are. Supposed to call her otherwise. Aru does her signature pose of the Merry Universe concert, and the gang is overwhelmed. On the other hand, Muchan and Yumin know that Aru wants to keep this side of her hidden, so they decide to conceal it while blocking Yumin's eyes with their hands, while Popo-chan sleeps soundly in the background. Aru comes to tell them that the thugs are going to see their show as well, so the number of fans increased just a little. Yumin has fans of her own that are charmed by her eyes and her aura. After the concert, the girls decide to go grab a bite as they are hungry after the hard work. They ask Yumin if she is coming along, but she apologizes and does not go with them. Muchan thinks that she was acting a bit suspicious and thinks that she got herself a boyfriend. But Aru corrects her that she is only going shopping. But the thing is that she did not go to the supermarket for shopping but somewhere else. At the anime market, a girl named Fuji Yoshiko is here as usual, and she is an office worker. Her greatest pleasure in life is stopping by to fish for the hidden BL gems on her way back home from work. She can forget about the higher-ups of women at work who shine bright on their mountain and the power harassment managers who push all the menial jobs on her. To be around those around her who feel stirred to their core in this place is the best. She has enjoyed looking at the latest release, and her mind detects a foreign force nearby. She looks around to find a woman that is oozing out alpha energy, which is overload. She wonders why such a cool girl is hanging around in a place like this because there is no way that she is into BL like her, but her calm part of mind tells her to wait and see. However, the cool girl also picks up a BL manga and reappraises her for making a good choice despite being a newbie. Then she rewinds the whole story in her mind, but then tells her to wait and not get tricked so easily, as that manga is for beginners and everyone, including normies, could enjoy that story, so she cannot say for sure that she is just like her just yet. Besides, the manga also got a live action recently, so she could be a fan of one of the actors. The cool girl picks up another manga and reapproves of this one as well. She is thinking that she might be a BL reader like herself, but then realizes that this manga is more of a gag manga than a BL manga. So with just these two manga, she cannot tell for sure she is a bona fide BL reader. The next one she picks up is a dirty BL manga that has nothing but hardcore excitement in it, and it looks like this manga made her the most happy so far. She then goes for another manga, and that is of the same genre as the previous one, and then the cool girl takes those two manga and starts heading towards the register with the hardcore manga in her hands without a hint of hesitation. She is not only buying them, but is also fine with the transparent book cover. Fuji is beyond shocked as she could never be like her, so bold and without a hint of shame. She is not only without shame but also proud. She is the real deal and makes Fuji sit on the floor from the awe. The cool girl notices her and comes to ask if she is okay. Fuji finds Yumin so cool to think that the girl that is going home to read a dirty BL manga would be so cool right now. Fuji cannot help but ask what BL means to her. Yumin boldly says that it is just a hobby. Later, Fuji blabbered her experience to the internet community that she found a cool girl with a gap. Now we get to know about Muchan from a little closer. She has many fans and is cheerful during the concert. At the meet and greet of fans, she enthusiastically greets a regular fan and even does a heart for the shot and signs his postcard. The fan tells her that he has been into puzzle games recently and even bought a mega-hard puzzle ring that has him stumped. The fan thinks that the puzzles are totally not her thing. and she laughs and finds it hilarious. Later, she solves the whole puzzle. Set on her first try and finds it super easy. A professor enters his office and is shocked to see Muchan sitting on his chair. He calls her by her real name, Matsuki, and tells her that she scared him so much that years of his life have been shaved off probably. Muchan laughs, knowing that her teacher is not planning on living a long life anyway by the amount of cigarettes he consumes. The professor does not have any retaliation to that and just tells her to tell him beforehand if she plans to drop by. Muchan says that she had a premonition that he might need her help, so she came. The professor appreciates the help and proceeds to see what she can help with. However, she lists all the tasks that were on the desk, tells him that she completed all of them, and asks if he needs something else, but the professor is speechless. She says that the work on his table looked like it needed to be done, so she did it. Actually, Matsuki Suguru is a true genius who sees through everything. The professor admits that there is nothing else that she can help him with. The professor says that she is the best he has seen. She completed her studies ahead of everyone else just so she did not have to come to the classes. He asks why she does not devote her life to research. She refuses and says that she finds the research very boring, and that is why she completed everything so early. Her comment damages the professor's heart, and he tells her not to say that the research is boring as it is his whole life. Muchan tells him that she is really busy nowadays because she is an idol now and makes the professor spit out his coffee. The professor calls her reckless, and Muchan is offended, so he apologizes. He asks if she appears on the TV, but Muchan tells him that they are totally underground, and the professor has nothing to say. He scolds her that she should be somewhere where her genius mind can be of use. Muchan makes puppy eyes that he is not going to support her, and says that she even bought a concert ticket to give it to him. The professor is at a loss for words as he is not her parent and cannot tell her what to do, so he decides to take the ticket as she wants. But he does tell her that he would see if he can actually come to the event. Muchan blackmails him that she did so much work for him. He even took her ticket and would not come see it. Her blackmail seemed to work because the professor agrees that he would come. Looks like all went according to the plan for Muchan. Yumin faces Kimya at the meet and greet. It has been a while since they met as there have not been many concerts. The previous incident was reported to the staff, and other things took place, and since then, Yumin could not get Kimya out of her mind. She thinks if he is a ninja or something like that as he only ever wears nothing but black. She looks back at him in amazement because she never noticed just how tall he is. She is wondering how tall he is when he calls out to her to wake her up. She comes to her senses and thanks him for saving her that time. Kimya welcomes her and is glad that she is all right. The staff that is noting the time also listens into their conversation and seems to be quite enjoying it. Kimya reminds Yumin that he was showered with the disinfectant, and she says it was a close call. She awkwardly apologizes for it, but Kimya seriously says that he was only joking. Seeing his face, Yumin blushes while her eyes move here and there. Kimya notices that this is a new expression and wonders what this could mean. Actually, Yumin is just flustered, thinking if Kimya was always this cool. She internally calls someone for help and clutches at her stomach as her legs wobble. Kimya asks what she is doing, and she tells him that her stomach hurts. He asks if she is okay, but Yumin's version applies several filters on him to make him all sparkly, making her heart race. He advises her to never eat food off the floor as if she is a baby. Yumin feels offended and shouts at him for pissing her off. She thinks that as soon as she starts to see him in a new light, he goes and does that. However, Kimya apologizes and admits that she is just so cute that he could not help himself. This comment sends her another shock to the heart. Popo-chan notices her conversation and smirks. The next day, Kimya meets Cut-Ani in a drink bar. Cut-Ani has rapper clothing on and even does a little rap on Kimya's provocation. They met here for the meal, and Cut-Ani is super hungry, so he jumps on the menu. Kimya asks if he does not have any friends as he takes off the sunglasses. Cut-Ani says that his friend is in front of him and orders to his heart's content. Cut-Ani notices Kimya getting the orange juice at the juice bar and asks why he always gets it when he does not usually drink the orange juice. Kimya enlightens his dear friend that getting 100% orange juice gets you most of your money's worth than other diluted drinks. Cut-Ani says that it is not an enlightenment and Kimya lacks imagination. Kimya is triggered and asks him to show him this so-called imagination. Cut-Ani is more than happy to show him as he presses all the buttons and makes an all-in-one drink. Kimya calls him childish, and he admits that he was joking, but he rolls by finding the best combination, he says. That it is not childish, but is called flavor innovation. A child nearby makes fun of him for mixing the oolong tea and melon soda. Kutani looks at the child angrily and says that it is the way of the connoisseurs. The child cannot even pronounce the word, so Kimya calls Kutani thin-skinned. Kutani tells the child that people and drinks should not be judged by their looks. He then pours the drink into his mouth in one single gulp and finds it super gross. His views instantly change, and he now thinks that things really are how they look on the outside. The kid does not get it, so he starts lecturing him. Kimya returns to his seat and wonders if he should just leave early since his friend is not even coming to sit here. A girl comes to him and says that his friend is really lively. Kimya is surprised as he looks up because the girl seems to know his name, but the girl asks if she can sit with him. Kimya recognizes her. That she is one of the members of Merry Universe. Popo-chan. However, she sits in front of him even though he did not say she could just yet. She makes herself at ease and says that she has been wanting to talk to Kimya for a while now, and to think that she would be able to meet him at a restaurant. It must be fate, and she must be loved by the gods. Kutani also returns to his seat and is surprised to see a girl sitting in his place. He is bothered at first, but then he notices her chest, and his attitude completely changes. He asks Kimya who she is, but before he can answer, Popo-chan says that she is Kimya's girlfriend. Kimya refuses the claim in a single word, so she admits that she was only kidding and says that she is actually Kimya's stepsister. Kimya refutes the claim once again, and she again says that she was only kidding. Kimya finally introduces her as a member of Merry Universe. Kutani is amazed that she is Yuman's friend and can still speak Japanese so well, still thinking that Yuman is actually an African athlete. It is the first time that Popo-chan has been complimented for speaking her own language. Though she is amused, Kimya asks what he can do for her. She notices the seriousness in his voice and asks why he is speaking to her in a robotic tone. She suggests talking in a more friendly way and talking about what they like in the opposite gender. Kimya does not even bother to reply to her and decides to take his leave, but is stopped by Kutani. Kimya explains that idols and otaku are not supposed to fraternize in private, so if someone from the management or one of the fans saw this, it would not be good. However, Kutani does not understand this and thinks that it would be disrespectful to not eat with such a cute girl. All seriously, Kimya says that he would rather be disrespectful than risk the chance to never be able to see Yuman again. Popo-chan slightly trembles after hearing that, but no one notices. Kutani forces him to sit down since they have already ordered the food and also apologizes to Popo-chan for Kimya's seriousness. Kimya, robot-like once again, repeats that he only wants to reduce the risk, but his friend tells him to shut up. Popo-chan repeats about talking to her being a risk, and stands up only to bow and apologize to Kimya for not being able to meet outside of concerts like this. Kimya and Kutani are both shocked, and Kutani even whispers to him that she is the honest type. Kimya always had the impression that she was the aloof type, but perhaps she is not as she appears to be. She continues and says that she caused problems and forced him into this situation. Kutani is touched by her speech and offers his company since he is not an otaku, but she cuts him off to say that she has been watching Yuman all this time as well, just like Kimya. She has been watching Kimya cheer with all his might, and she thinks that it is lovely, so she holds his hand and tells him to come see her at the next concert. Kimya obviously refuses, but she insists and takes her leave in a hurry. Kimya opens his hand to find a ring lying on his hand, realizing that she wants him to return the ring. On her way, Popo-chan thinks internally that Kimya only has eyes for Yuman as expected. However, if those eyes, those words, and that love were all for her, it would be amazing. After all, sharing is caring. Yuman and Popo-chan are both late, and there is only less than 30 minutes remaining till the show starts. Muchan is relaxed as she knows that they would reach on time since they just messaged. The two of them arrive, and Muchan mentions that they are here as she told just a moment ago. The girls who arrive late look beaten up, so their leader, Aru, asks if they were screwing around together. Popo-chan tells her that the two of them just bumped into each other at the entrance, so Aru asks the reason for their tardiness like a teacher. Yuman tells her that she kind of knocked all the bikes like dominoes at the bike stand, which sounds just like her, so she is passed. Popo-chan says that her grandmother suddenly took a bad fall. Aru demands the truth instantly, so Popo-chan says that she actually overslept, earning herself a reprimand. Aru starts to lecture her while Muchan and Yuman enjoy the drama from the side. Popo-chan is 19 years old, and she tells Aru in her 20s to quiet down and calls her an old lady. An internal fight starts in Aru's brain. If she bites, that would mean that she accepts that she is old. But if she does not bite while she does not care, she cannot let her get away with it, and hence starts the old lady paradox. Yumin wants to hide and asks for help as she is trapped between a tiger and a dragon. Muchan asks Yumin to stop them, but she refuses. She only knows how guys become closer as a fujoshi. Muchan reminds Aru that the latecomers need to get ready. Aru tosses them into the changing room at once. Muchan says that Popo-chan is in her rebellious phase, but Aru is actually worried about her. She knows that she is always at her own pace, and even though she performs well, she gets a little too close to the fans. And that is what worries Aru. In the changing room, Yumin notices that it is not often that she is alone with Popo-chan and thinks that she should say something, so she asks if she was up late last night. Popo-chan stares at her from the corner of her eyes and smiles to say that she could not get a wink of sleep thinking how she will see Kimya today. Yumin continues to smile until she realizes that Popo-chan just said Kimya's name. She asks if Popo-chan is talking about that Kimya, and she replies that he is a great guy. With his wholehearted love, Yumin laughs and blushes. Popo-chan continues to say that it must feel warm to have someone who loves her and only her. She understands this, and that is why she wants him as well. She asks how Yumin can be so sure that he would only support her. Yumin is still thinking if Kimya can really support someone else other than her, but Popo-chan is done changing and leaves, leaving Yumin with the same question that she repeats again and again in her head, once she thinks about it calmly. She realizes that Kimya would never jump ship so easily. Even though Popo-chan said that, Yumin has never even seen him so much as talk to another team member, so she is sure that he would never jump ship. However, at the meet and greet, Kimya asks for a ticket to talk to Popo-chan. Even the staff member is shocked while Popo-chan only smirks. All the fans see them with terror as he makes his way to Popo-chan, only bowing towards Yumin on the way. Yumin is shocked to see Kimya go to Popo-chan's stall instead of coming to her as always. Popo-chan is happy to see him arrive and says that it is good to see him here. But Kimya comes straight to the point and tells her that he left her ring at the lost and found desk. Popo-chan is surprised as she was planning to make him return the ring to her himself. She sweetly asks if he decided to become her fan as he did not even go to greet Yumin and came to see her first. Kimya admits that he did come because he needed to see her, and Popo-chan becomes happy that she snatched him. She internally apologizes to Yumin, but says that she would take good care of him. She stands up, but Kimya continues his statement and says that he needed to see her to tell her clearly that he would never be her fan. Popo-chan is shocked, but Kimya says that it is not only that. He has no time to look at others because he promised to support Yumin with the strength of 800,000 people. Even the ever-composed Popo-chan cannot comprehend his statement without stuttering. But Kimya continues to say that Yumin is his North Star, his guiding light when he wandered through darkness. Popo-chan does not understand what the hell the guy in front of her is saying, but Kimya is not done yet and says that he would forever be a lifelong fan and stan, and tells her to refrain from doing such things in the future as she did yesterday at the cafe. Popo-chan says that he might be a little loose with his words to be claiming to be there for a lifelong. She asks if he runs out of money, and if someone much more appealing than Yumin appeared. Forever and lifelong are just easy to say, and are nothing but lip service. Popo-chan then realizes that she said too much out of spite, and says that she was only joking, but what she said does stand true. In the end, it may all be lip service since people change. She slowly grabs his hand as she says that, but Kimya says that even if he does not know the future, he would always be there for Yumin. After all, she has given him. He snatches his hand back as he says that he has both the will and the love to make that lip service a reality. Suddenly, Yumin comes in between the two of them, shocking Kimya. A few moments earlier, Yumin could not sit still while thinking what Kimya is doing over there. She cannot hear a thing they are saying and is worried about Kimya jumping ship. But she is soon reminded of the past and is ensured that there is no way he would do that, and there must be a reason for him to go to her. But she does not understand what the said reason could be for him to go out of his way and spend money to see her. As she is dreading over it, she can suddenly hear their conversation. She hears Popo-chan ask if Kimya became her fan and also hears Kimya's response, but she misunderstands it into thinking that he is talking about his love towards Popo-chan and is dejected because he promised to always love her and watch her. She watches Popo-chan hold his hand and automatically moves to come between them and announces that Kimya belongs to her. After her proclamation, she realizes what she did and panics. The staff quickly comes to tell her not to go into other people's lane as she is pulled back. Even Popo-chan was scared that She suddenly jumped in front of her like that. However, Kimya looks like he has fallen in love. Popo-chan also looks at his expression, but the time is up now, so he leaves. Her other fan comes to ask if she is okay to be barged in like that, but she is in her own world, thinking aloud that it was no good and how it is important to know when to cut your losses in love and war. Her poor fan does not understand a thing she says. The staff places Yumin on her seat and tells her to be good as her father will be here soon. Yumin wonders why she is being treated like a child. Nonetheless, she is really embarrassed by what she did a moment ago and does not know how to face Kimya now, but the person of her worries is here, so she crouches on the ground in despair, shocking Kimya as he asks if she has another stomach ache. Popo-chan can see the whole scene and wants them to go somewhere else. Staying in the same position, Yumin asks him why he went to Popo-chan. After asking, she is internally struggling because she does not want to hear the answer. Kimya tells her honestly that he handed something of hers to the staff and only went there to inform her. Yumin feels relieved but does not get up. Instead, she asks about his statement of the strength of 8 billion, and he again tells her that he was telling her about his vow to Yumin. She finally gets up, all happy, saying that he scared her for a second there. She calls him an upstanding citizen, and even says that she could have told Popo-chan his place instead. Kimya was not lying. But he thinks that he said too much. He does not want her to make that face ever again. So he bows deeply and apologizes for worrying her because, no matter what the situation is, he should have come to her first. He belongs to Yumin after all. She panics again and tries to clarify that she only meant that he is her fan. Upon some sheer pressure, she desperately says that Kimya belongs to her in both body and soul. And that is why he cannot go somewhere else. Kimya cries as he sees the cute little brat in front of him. The staff returns the ring back to Popo-chan, and she thinks that she is about to find someone who would love her. Just then, Yumin arrives and says that she needs to talk to her. For the idol otaku, they have the dance-along culture to memorize the moveset of their favorite idols. They can dance along with them in their otaku dance style. Kimya found a video of the performance that a fan took. No matter how many times he watched it, he finds Yumin beautiful. He thanks her higher-grade natural. Typical clumsiness. He proceeds to practice as well. Later, he lectures Yumin that she should grasp the general idea of the dance first instead of focusing on the details. Yumin does not understand why an idol is getting dance advice from an otaku, but he is not done yet, and that ticks her off. She asks if he can even dance perfectly to give pointers. Kimya constantly says that he can. That leaves Yumin stunned. He suggests that it would be easier for her to understand if he demonstrated it. Yumin wants to see it, so she asks to play the music. His dance is so good and perfect that she can actually hear him sing as well in her own imagination. She even finds him dazzling, even though she is the idol and he is the fan. Kimya asks how it was after he is done. Yumin tells him that she would be able to get it if he dances for her one more time, and he obliges without a question. Of course, the staff intervened at the second attempt. Her name is Yumin, the idol Kimya supports and the idol only he supports. The reason is simple. Both her singing and dancing suck because she is a clumsy idol. He warns her to watch her step even during the performance. Yumin notices him and is glad that he is here again today. The one who is always on her about being clumsy, but she believes that she has improved and wants to show him that. She attacks with her wink, but he is not even looking and is even walking away. Yumin tells him not to go and stay right there in the mic, of course, but she is bad at cover-ups, so she becomes even clumsier. Everest picks up the glow stick for Kimya, but he is already unconscious, and the cause of death is fan service overload. Kimya asks if she knows of the pin bag, and she does now about it for once. A pin bag is covered in badges and is pretty common in people who stan a particular idol, but Kimya has not seen much of them in the underground community. The main point of Kimya is that Merry Universe released some new merch the other day of the pictures taken from the live performances for the fans to enjoy in the form of the Ultimate Merry Universe badges. Yumin had a premonition, and just as she feared, Kimya has made a pin bag out of her badges. She is not too happy about it as all the pins are of her, and seeing her own face is too much. Kimya says that he only wants to spread the joy, so he tried making one himself, but rather than the pin bag, this is more like a pain bag. Yumin gives up and asks why she is the only one to have a badge like this. Even the design is poison. Kimya calls it the stubbed Yumin wink. Yumin tells him to stop making fun of her wink, because she has been practicing it. Yumin remembers that he did miss when she tried to show him the wink during the performance, Therefore, she decides to give him a surprise fan service wink and see if he gets all flustered. So she takes the opportunity and winks at him excitedly. But Kimya says that she just recently got the hang of it, and Yumin does not know why he knows of such a thing. Kimya tells her that sometimes during the performances, she throws out the winks subconsciously. Of course, he would notice that about her. Because he only has eyes for her, she gets flustered by the response and even scolds him for doing so. She then cries as he tells her that her wink was really good and she has come a long way. Yumin tells Popo-chan that she wants to talk to her. She sincerely and firmly apologizes for cutting into her line. Popo-chan hits her on the head by saying that she has never seen such a thing before, an idol cutting in line of all things. Yumin whimpers at the chastisement, but Popo-chan tells her not to feel worried because she is no longer interested in Kimya. Yumin looks visibly happy to hear that, but still asks about the time Popo-chan said she wanted him before the concert. Popo-chan says that she was only kidding and did not specifically pick him out. She remembers the time she went to a concert of another band to find the guys who said they only loved her, but she is never anyone's number one, so she just wanted the real deal for once. Yumin wants to find out more, but she says that it would cost her 500 yen to hear the rest. Yes, she needs to wait to find out. Yumin shakes like a wet puppy because she only has a 1,000 yen note. Popo-chan was obviously joking and tells her that she is not going to get involved with Kimya anymore. In truth, she just does not want to get involved in that lovey-dovey atmosphere those two have got going on. Yumin thanks the gods because she does not have a rival now. Popo-chan teases her that she loves Kimya a bit too much and asks if she realizes her feelings for him. Yumin blushes and panics, but Popo-chan continues and says that she has the face of a maiden in love. She realizes that Yumin has not realized her feelings yet and teases her some more by saying that she should just get together with her single fan and quit being an idol. Yumin finds it mean and says that she does not want to quit, even if there is only Kimya. She likes being here with everyone in Merry Universe, and that is why she wants to know about everyone, including her. Popo-chan observes that Yumin is so small, pure, and straightforward and gets unbending, devoted love. She is the absolute opposite of her. She turns away from Yumin and says that she would have to turn her down and would not tell her anything about her. Yumin is about to ask something, but Popo-chan smiles brightly and says that she really hates her, but she still wishes her all the best in her love for Kimya. She then says that Yumin should get together with him, leave, and send out an important message. Yumin covers her ears because Popo-chan seems to be trying to jinx her. The bully fortunately stops as Mu-chan and Aru arrive and ask if they are leaving too quickly without the overtime. Yumin notices that Aru is not with them and asks where she is. She gets her answer soon enough as Aru appears behind her like a demon and states that she saw Yumin cutting into another line and favoring her number one fan too much. Even Popo-chan makes an escape because Aru is too scary. Yumin receives an inexcusable punch, but do not worry as it is only the 150th of Aru's full power. Mu-chan warns her not to go too crazy, and Aru says that she is only scolding her. At the lockers, Mu-chan joins Popo-chan and tells her that she heard her say to Kimya about refraining from doing the thing like yesterday. However, Popo-chan refuses to admit such a thing. Mu-chan drops the topic and thought it was funny since they got to see Yumin being weird. Mu-chan even guesses correctly that Popo-chan is obviously thinking that she cannot be read by Mu-chan. She asks what Popo-chan was talking to Yumin about before they got here. She lies and says to her that they were only talking about today's concert. She thinks that she can easily deceive Mu-chan, but when she lies, she always raises her eyebrows up, and Mu-chan knows it, but it is so funny that she is never going to tell her. Kimya, on the other hand, looks at his picture with Yumin and repeats her words that he belongs to her. At the meet and greet event, Kimya greets his idol, Yumin. There is something that Yumin has been wondering about and voices it out to Kimya. That it is a bit oppressive around here because the ceiling is a bit too low. However, Kimya says that he finds it the same as always, even though he is bending his neck to the side. Yumin yells at him that he did not have to bend his neck like that. Before, he then suddenly clutches at his chest because he has the sudden urge to say the punchline. However, the star of the show, Yumin, has no idea what the punchline is. Kimya praises Yumin on her singing and remembering the lyrics completely. Yumin is just starting to feel smug when he drops that she forgot the dance move and froze up at one point. Yumin makes a panicked face. But then he tells her that her trying her best out there was dazzling, and he would always support her, so she becomes happy. Yumin tells Kimya to stop switching between hot and cold personality and compliments because it is confusing. She even orders him to keep his conversation short, because what he usually says is embarrassing. Kimya obliges to her wishes and starts saying short praises such as cute, astounding, and #1 in the world. Yumin begs him to stop because it is even more embarrassing, and she flusters from sensory overload. The merry universe is sitting together, so Yumin seizes the chance to ask how they remember the names of their fans. The stoic leader, Aru, says that she writes down everything she talks about with her fans and then beats it into her memory every evening so that she can be ready whenever they come. The genius Muchan says that she does not do anything to memorize because she remembers anything she looks at and decides they do not have that many fans. Popo-chan is offended that Yumin did not ask her. Yumin tries to defend herself that she had feeling that Popo-chan would not answer even if she asked. Popo-chan says that she would tell her now that she was not asked. Aru is shocked that someone like Popo-chan even cares about her fans. Popo-chan says that she does care about her fans and loves everyone that loves her, so she is able to remember everything they talk about and everything they do not even talk about. Don't know if that is even legal, of course. She got punished by the leader, Aru, and has to admit that she was only joking, even though it did not sound like a joke to Yumin. There's only Muchan remaining, so Yumin asks her as well. Muchan tells her that there are only 2 types of people when you put it simply, the top and the bottom. Aru tells her not to put weird stuff in Yumin's mind. Now we are going to see the hierarchy at the Kutani house. He and his dog, Boss, decide to go on a walk. The boss brings the collar and puts it on so that he does not run away. Kutani does not run away because he is the one wearing the collar. Good thing that he realizes soon enough, but at the expense of the amusement of his dog. Kutani thinks that if he does not play along like that in a while, Boss never listens to him. He really has a selfish dog. On the walk, the dog barks to let him know that there is a puddle of water ahead. Kutani is touched, but then some passerby notices the cute dog, so the boss runs towards them as if his name is Cute, showering Kutani with the same puddle it was warning against. The said passerby is a child that actually wants to ride the dog. Fortunately, Kutani refuses to let that happen and instead offers himself to be ridden on. He even bends down on all fours to let the kid ride him while saying that he does not do this usually, so the kid should be grateful. He tells the boss to get away because it could be dangerous, but the boss is already on top of him like some prince. Yumin looks at her laptop screen as if it is the first time she is looking at something like this. She does not understand any of it, and it is all because she did not listen well in class. Just last night, her friend asked if she handed in the report, and Yumin had no idea they had to turn in a report in 2 days. She would have been done for if Aiki-chan had not told her, so she thanks her internally. Right now, she is yawning while working on the report. Today was packed with classes, while yesterday they had dance practice, so she is really tired today. She expected this much, so she chose to work in the college lounge because she was sure she would not fall asleep near other people. Additionally, the spot she occupied was just in front of the air conditioner, so she would freeze if she fell asleep there. With all the preparations done, she is sure to stay awake, so this battle is hers. She starts tapping on her laptop to finish it quickly. Kutani is in a pinch for once as he looks at a dance video that Kimya is showing him. He does not know what he is looking at, so Kimya tells him that as she is his favorite idol, since he was the one to say that he wanted to see her performance. This is the video that Kimya was allowed to take at the concert, so he tells him to burn it into his eyes. Kutani spots that one of the idols is possessed, and Kimya provides that it would be Yumin. The video is from when she debuted, so he assures that her dance style is different now. Kutani knows that it is not all about the dance style. The problem is much bigger. Kimya tells him that he is the only fan she has, and Kutani is not surprised. If he saw that performance in his dreams, he would cry. Kimya supposes that it would be a good dream, but it is actually a nightmare to Kutani. As they are walking, Kimya notices something drop and returns it to the owner, gaining himself a karma point. On asking, he tells Kutani that gaining karma means doing something good consciously. Kutani is not too happy to see his friend glowing, enlightening, and getting all weird on him. Kimya is collecting karma points so that he can gain 100 out of 100 humans on the random photo event. Kutani tells him that he is acting really greedy right now. Kutani takes his leave after that, and Kimya proceeds to go his way and notices a girl in the lounge. He finds that she is eating her laptop. Not literally, she is just a typical college student cramming it in. Right before the deadline, he picks up her cardigan, which must have fallen on the ground while she was sleeping. He is about to put it on the chair in front of her, But then the girl suddenly sneezes, and he notices the girl trembling due to cold. He runs his brain on how it is a karma point and a good deed. He looks around quickly, drapes it over her, and takes his leave just as quickly. On the train, Kimya decides to forget about her, even though she looks similar, but maybe that hair color and the hairstyle are in fashion nowadays. Kimya thinks that the world is finally catching up to Yumin. Yumin wakes up to find her cardigan draped over her and thinks that she did it by herself and slept like a log due to it. However, as the sleep goes away and she notices the time, she realizes that she slept way too much. In the end, she handed in the report with 1 minute to spare. Kimya pulls for the random 2-shot Polaroid but gets an Aru ticket. He was aiming for Yumin, but if it means it can increase the funds for the Merry Universe, he is all right with it. He decides to give it to Everest later as he is an Aru fan. On his way, he overhears a fan talking about how he got the Yumin ticket instead of Aru's. Kimya thinks that he is really lucky, but the fan is fretting because he does not want to go see Yumin. Kimya is shocked that he will not be seeing Yumin when he gets the ticket in his hands. He wonders if this fan is like him who did not want to be noticed by her. But then again, Kimya is the only one lining up at the Yumin merch. He continues to hear the boy say that he cannot go to Yumin's lane since it only belongs to Kimya, and guys like them cannot go there. Kimya is beyond shocked and depressed to register their ongoing conversation when they say that just watching the two of them is good enough, as it is like watching a married couple comedy duo, and it is much more fun to watch it from the sidelines. They even decide to go give the ticket to Kimya. However, Kimya takes his depressed soul to Everest to whine about the matter. Kimya finds it strange that he is the only fan when she is just so cute. Everest contemplates if she is actually cute as Kimya is saying, but he is not too sure. Kimya thinks that just his presence isolated Yumin, but Everest ensures him that it is not true. In reality, everyone is just watching over the two of them, and even if an ultra fan or a returning fan were to come, they would have to line up regardless. Everest is even jealous that Kimya gets to have Yumin all to himself. Kimya thinks that they should be happy that their idols have more fans, and Everest agrees, but he knows that Yumin is not the kind to think about that. He then asks about Kimya's feelings if Yumin were to get more fans. Kimya replies that if she would have more fans and is able to feel secure about herself, he would just go back to how he was before, which is watching from the shadows. He knows that Yumin is very clumsy with her words, which makes her very straightforward, but it can also lead to misunderstandings. What Yumin needs are fans, not him specifically, so he cannot be conceited. Everest advises him to enjoy himself while he can because he does not know when that time will arrive. As for Everest, he wants to get as many fans for Aru as possible. He even decided to get her 300 fans all by himself. What she has now are about 20 fans, but it is a first for the underground fans to decide whom to support. He remembers the time when Aru said to him that he could not lose sight of the things he talked to her about, but she would try her best to become the idol that he can be proud of. After that, he trusts Aru, and that is why he wants to help by handing out CDs and prizes. Everest even invites Kimya to do the same and help on this mission. At home, Kimya relaxes and opens TikTok, an app to share short videos for the SNS stuff. He usually uses his Twitter, and he downloaded it because he was asked to, but he does not quite get it. Everest told him that a lot of idols got famous on it, and even he is uploading videos of Aru there as well. Kimya finds one of those videos and gives it a high rating, so he starts getting recommendations of other idols as well. He looks through them and is not really impressed. It is not like he likes idols. Yumin is the only one for him. Yes, just like this video of hers, he realizes a little late, but there really is a video of Yumin with a ton of high ratings. There really is a video of the clumsy Yumin on the internet, and Kimya basks in the light of her clumsiness because she is just so cute, but he gathers himself quite quickly and starts reading the comments. The title of the video is Demon Possession Confirmed, and it got 500 comments. The initial comments laugh at her face and clumsiness. Some even try to summon the demon lord using her name, but then some comments are really positive that can finally see her charm. Kimya reads through the comments and builds a mental image of someone else making Yumin smile. A chill runs through his body, but even he does not know the reason for it. He then starts to wonder who uploaded the video, and one person comes to mind. The next day, he shows the video to Cut Ani, who is surprised for real that Yumin is going viral. He even reads the comments and laughs at them, so Kimya is sure that this person is not the one to do it. Even Cut Ani is glad that Yumin is getting famous, but Kimya says that everyone took too long to realize how cute she is. Cut provides him with the idea that Kimya can now brag to everyone that he supported her before it was cool. But Kimya says that it does not matter. It was weird in the first place that he was her only fan. And now he bets that Yumin is happy about it. There is no need to brag because it is enough for him as long as Yumin is happy. Cut observes him and asks if he is experiencing dig and bu, where he gets a feeling that they have talked about it before. Kimya tells him that it is called déjà vu, and Cut finally remembers. The memory takes him to middle school when he finds Kimya standing against the chalkboard because there are some sitting in his seat. He found it like that when he returned from his locker, but did not ask them to move because he did not want to get in their way and cause a fuss. He then shifts his leg due to tiredness, but still says it is fine. Cut does not buy any of that and asks if he wants them to move or not. Kimya finally affirms, so Cut goes to the boys and tells them that he saw that lunchbox lady at the school entrance and also saw some people already forming a long line. The boys go away quickly to join the line to get their favorite jumbo lunchbox. Cut sticks out his tongue and makes a victory sign as Kimya returns to sit. In his seat, the memory ends, but the feeling remains. He wants to eat some curry now. Cut knows that his friend always holds it in, and it has been a while since he prodded him like that. It might be his time to set up things, so he invites himself to the next concert that is happening tomorrow, leaving Kimya dumbstruck. Kimya and Cut arrive at the concert arena. Cut is surprised to find that the concerts take place in these kinds of places, but he is in awe. Kimya starts bothering him. When Everest arrives but is surprised by an evil-looking presence beside Kimya. Kimya thankfully introduces Cut before any misunderstandings occur, but it looks like he was too late as Everest thought that he got himself into something weird. Kimya sincerely apologizes for surprising him, but Cut is more surprised by the name of Everest, which is the name of a mountain. Everest tries to tell his real name, but Cut is too talkative to let him do so. However, Everest says that this is not the time to be exchanging pleasantries and asks if Kimya has seen the video. Kimya affirms, but his response is too mild. Everest wonders why an Aru fan like him is getting more hyped up than the actual human fan. He then says that it might be because of the video, but there are a lot more people at the concert than usual. Some of them are even referring to Yumin as the queen. Kimya gives them the most intense response and cries and says that he is glad that the era is changing from the Aru era to the Yumin era. As expected, the first-generation fans are completely different. Kimya assures himself that this is how he should react, be happy like a normal fan. But even so, he feels so uneasy. Everest invites him to stand in the front, but Kimya decides to stay at the back since there are other people here today, and he even got Cut with him. Even Cut says that he wants to go to the front, but Kimya shuts him up with a hand. Everest says that he is always in the front and remembers what Kimya said about staying in the shadows. He tells Kimya that he does not need to be considerate of others, but Kimya remains firm in his decision. Cut agrees with Everest and tells Kimya to not use him as an excuse. He asks if this spot is fine since he is wearing glasses. Kimya cuts him short by pointing out that the concert is starting. As the concert starts, Cut enjoys himself, but Kimya can notice that Yumin looks a bit off. Her complexion is not good, and he worries if she is sick. But besides that, no one is waving Yumin's pen light. He does not even know why those guys even came here if they cannot even wave for her. Kimya takes out his own pen lights to support Yumin but gets all his answers. There are many new faces, but all of them are complaining that it is nothing like the video and Yumin is just regular level bad, but they wanted to see the crazy level bad. They even say that it is boring, making Kimya clench at the pen lights. Cut seriously looks at the show, but Yumin looks kind of down. Cut asks which one is Yumin because he cannot tell them apart as they are too far away. When he does not get any reply, he calls out to Kimya loud enough to reach the stage. Everyone is surprised, and Kimya pushes his friend down as he does not want to disturb the performance. But it is too late because Yumin sees him, smiles, and even calls his name. The first-row regulars can hear her and instantly turn towards Kimya to convey these feelings. Muchan appreciates the loud voice and even prompts Yumin to do the same and continue the concert. Kimya finally answers that this place is not good enough. A question that Cut asked ages ago. He even tells Cut to hold this stuff, which he is glad to do. It does not matter to Kimya what others say. To see his favorite idol trying her best on the stage and to see her look at him like that, if he does not move now, then why does he even exist? The cameraman asks Kimya to move a little closer, but he says that he is fine. So the photo only has Yumin and a small part of Kimya. Even Yumin says that she would not be able to tell who this is with his picture. However, Kimya says that it is fine like this because in the photo they took last time, the otaku is in the way. Yumin has to remind him that the said otaku was he himself, but Kimya says that he does not want to waste a two-shot ticket, so the best way is to not be in the picture as much as possible. Yumin does not understand the purpose of a two-shot ticket at this rate. She is frustrated and asks if he does not think of having her all to himself if he is really an otaku. But before she can finish her sentence, Kimya negates the idea because having such thoughts toward the idol he supports would be very disrespectful. His answer is so immediate that Yumin turns to a line drawing. Kimya further elaborates that he must know his place since he is the only fan she has. Yumin finds his response too much like that of an honor student. The paragon of otaku he is. She allows him to think like that just a little, but he does not understand what she meant at that time. Now at the concert, Kimya is thinking about his purpose of existence. If he cannot be there for her, it is not the time to be weak. It is the duty of the fans to support with all their might, and for that reason, Kimya has to pass through a sea of people to finally reach near the stage and call out to her. Yumin notices him, and so does Everest and the other regular fans that internally support Kimya to come to his original position and make Yumin happy because they cannot focus on their idols when there is tension around their friend. Suddenly, their breathing synchronizes, and with a sense of unity for the earnest wishes for Kimya and Yumin. Those who saw them grow closer over a period of time. The regulars of Merry Universe become one in their unity. They squeeze others to make way for Kimya, like Moses parted the great sea. Kimya looks at the path ahead and at the bright and dazzling stage. He shouts loud enough for his voice to overcome others and says that he has something to say. He announces that Yumin is so cute, and he loves her very much. He finally found his princess, and the reason he was born was to meet her. He tells her to stay with him through life, but Yumin trips and bends to come to eye level with him as he confesses that he loves her the most in the whole world. The two of them stare into each other's eyes, and Yumin blushes. However, in the next second, Kimya tells her to stand up since the song has not finished yet. He assures her that he will be standing right there watching and supporting her. Yumin sticks out her tongue in response. Everest welcomes Kimya at the front again, and the other regulars also come closer to say that he belongs here at the front. Kimya apologizes for causing them trouble and thanks them all, but the guys say that they would watch over the two of them. Kutani also comes to join them, and another guy also comes to collide against Kimya. This is the same guy that Kimya overheard, but he does not recognize him. The guy cries because he is too moved by Kimya's speech and rampages through his bag to hand over something to Kimya. It is a two-shot Yumin ticket that Kimya was not able to get in the random pull. Kimya asks if the guy is sure about giving him a two-shot Yumin ticket. The boy is more than happy to hand it over and even says to beat up the guys that invaded their sanctuary, but Kimya passes on the offer and gives him an Aru ticket instead. Kimya was going to give it to Everest before, but he looks as happy as if he was the one to obtain it. So it is okay. Kutani also looks at the ticket interestingly, but the guy asks about his identity, already raising his fists. Fortunately, Kimya tells him that Kutani is a friend. The ever-nice guy Everest gives a lecture to Kutani about the meet and greet event and the photo tickets. Kutani is surprised that Kimya lets them take his picture, but Kimya says he does so for Yumin. The meet and greet is starting, so they start moving towards the allotted area. On the way there, Kimya thanks Kutani, but he asks about the reason. He is wondering if he should buy a ticket as well, maybe for Popo-chan since she has a great body. Kimya calls him an idiot, but they arrive safely at the area. The gang splits up to go see their favorite idol, and Kimya also gets the ticket to talk to Yumin. He is probably not her single fan now, so they might not be able to talk like always. In fact, he should probably think of their interactions so far as special, and now he is just returning to normal. He decides to not waver no matter what changes and how many fans she has now. Supporting Yumin is his only desire. However, all his arms up seem to be in vain when he finds Yumin standing alone like always. The newcomers can be heard saying that Queen Yumin was a letdown even though they thought she had potential. Kimya does not understand any of it, but the staff urges him to move since it is now his turn. He stands before Yumin, and the two of them stare at each other until Kimya asks why no one is lining up in front of her. This is something that she wants to know as well, but it was not like it was a surprise to her. He asks about the other attendees, but she says that they were here and might not come here again. Kimya asks for the reason, so she tells him reluctantly that the whole group was excited to see the crowd before the concert. They were glad that they made that account on the internet and posted the clumsy Yumin. It was all Popo-chan's idea, so everyone praises her. Yumin glances at the crowd that is here to see her. Only the leader encouraged her, and as expected, she panicked during the concert and fell down on stage. At the meet and greet, the new individuals came to talk to her, but the only thing they talked about was how she fell on stage and could not dance. Yumin gave the usual Sunder response while being agitated. Kimya summarizes for her that she went a little too hard on them. Even Aru was so angry at her. But Kimya asks if there was someone who called her Queen Yumin. Yumin affirms and tells him that they were a metal band who invited her to raise hell together like a cult. In the end, everyone who came to her lane was having more fun elsewhere. The only one who buys dozens of tickets to talk to Yumin is only Kimya. He looks really happy to hear that, so even Yumin is surprised. She then remembers his confession and blushes, thinking that Kimya definitely did not mean it like that. Kimya only says that this whole situation sounds so like her. Yumin is offended that he is calling her clumsy, but Kimya says that is the best thing about her. He asks her for permission to continue to support her and allow him right in front before anyone else. Yumin is really touched by his words and wants to ask something, but Kimya cuts her off to say his final greeting, making Yumin realize that time runs fast. Rhea is casually standing outside. She gets hit on by a random guy. The person says that she is totally his type, so he decides to talk to her. He is about to ask her out, but is interrupted by a very loud Yumin who apologizes for making Rhea wait so long. When Yumin notices the guy beside Rhea, she asks if he is a friend, but the one to answer is the strange guy who claims that they were about to become friends and even hits on Yumin in the process. Rhea suddenly grabs Yumin and, after kissing her on the cheek, takes her leave, leaving the dumbfounded man behind. At the BL-themed cafe, Yumin complains that she was really surprised because she thought that Rhea was going to kiss her for Real. Her nagging does not stop there, so Rhea takes a spoonful of dessert and shoves it into her mouth. That shuts her up as she enjoys the delicious food, and Rhea finds her too easy. Yumin finally notices that it is a cool cafe with BL-themed decorations, so she apologizes for coming with Rhea even though she does not know anything about BL. Rhea does not mind because she is only here for the theme and because Muchan talks too much, Muchan is too noisy, and Popo-chan is not interested. Yumin is the only one she can ask. Yumin feels smug about being chosen, and once again, Rhea thinks that she is too easy. After being stuffed and satisfied, the two leave the cafe and come across Muchan, who finds them a rare duo. She asks if they are hanging out, so they tell her that they just had a drink at the BL cafe. Muchan already knows about Rhea's hobbies, so she says that she is the same as always. When they ask Muchan about her being here, she tells them that since they are meeting at the office at 6 o'clock, she was spending some time playing mahjong. She even tells them that the local jerks were acting so sus that she was able to tell what their hands were, so she got bored since she could not get fired up. Yumin finds it amazing because she does not know the rules of the card games. However, as she is speaking, she trips over the fence and dramatically falls down. Muchan laughs her ass off while Rhea calls her clumsy. Muchan is still in her senses to give her a hand, but she still says that Yumin is so unpredictable that she should stay. The way she is, however, Yumin just wants her to help her right now. After this bout of clumsiness, the three are deciding what to do next. Yumin hears music and finds something like a concert. Muchan reads and informs the gang that it is a world dance festival. Rhea says that she has seen the performing group somewhere before, probably in the same field as them. Yumin is surprised that they are underground idols and is amazed by the huge stage. She thinks that she would freeze up there. Muchan thinks that it is super fun, and Rhea thinks about the money. Both Muchan and Rhea say that the girl in the middle is amazing, but Yumin cannot watch it properly, so she moves and accidentally bumps into someone. Yumin is surprised to find that the one she just bumped into is Aru-chan. Aru-chan casually starts analyzing the performing group while the synchronicity amazes the three. When they ask what Aru is doing here, she tells them that she is here to check the competition. She sounds like a villain when she says that the more information you have about the rivals, the better. She assumes that the other three are also here because seeing other groups perform is educational, and she feels like a proud mother. The three girls are too afraid to tell her that they were only walking past here. The concert of the Merry Universe is taking place with all its might, and the star of the show for tonight is Popo-chan. The same star now wakes up, and the first thing she does is check her phone. for the time and decides that 9 o'clock in the morning is too early to get up on a Sunday morning. However, the monstrous shouting of her mother does not let her sleep back. Her mother urges her to get ready, so Popo-chan gets out of the room lazily. At the breakfast table, her mother again shouts at her to help with the shop today, but Popo-chan remains calm, albeit annoyed, and agrees to help out. However, she cannot help herself when she states the fact that the kitchen is too hot and the apron looks lame. Her mother does not like her tone because Popo-chan has never set foot in the kitchen. Popo-chan is also ticked by all the shouting and returns it twofold. But it looks like a daily occurrence since the neighbor comments that it is as lively as always. Popo-chan binds her apron and starts working while her business smile adorns her face. While serving the food, she is greeted by one of the regular Gramps who compliments her that she has gotten much bigger than he last saw her. However, Popo-chan is so taken aback that she tells him that the comment can be considered sexual harassment. The Gramps immediately clarify that he did not mean it like that, so Popo-chan lets him off since he is a regular customer and even offers him to take whichever bowl he likes. The Gramps like the food and give compliments to the chef, but Popo-chan asks him to bring a hot guy with him next time. However, her mother hits her with the food because she welcomes all the daintiness and Popo-chan is being disrespectful. However, Popo-chan thinks that her mother is the one being disrespectful by calling this place dainty. She says that she would be motivated with young people around. As young as the person sitting over there, at least. The same young person calls for her, so her personality takes a 180 turn to go to him. Her mother tells the Gramps that she would tell her off later, but the Gramps does not mind because he thinks that she is just being open with him. Popo-chan asks the customer if he would like a refill of water, but the young customer holds out a hair to show her and claims that he found that in his bowl, and he is disgusted. She tries to apologize, but the man does not listen and says that the main meal was terrible as well and decides to not pay for the food. Popo-chan says that they would not take money from him, which is what she should say, but he did not find the hair in the bowl at all. The customer asks if she is calling him a liar, so Popo-chan tells him that he certainly has. The face of one. Moreover, she proudly says that she can tell because she is a liar as well. On top of that, he was too quick to ask if she was calling him a liar, like he was already expecting the question. The young customer slams his hand on the table and tells her to be mindful because he is the victim here. With a gruesome voice, someone makes him stop. The gorilla-like person asks if he has any trouble with the staff member, but the young customer is too scared because there is a living Gundam in front of him. But he is even more shocked when Popo-chan calls her the gorilla, her mom. Popo-chan cheerfully states that the bowls are self-service, so the only ones who could have touched the bowl are him and her mother. She asks which one has longer hair because her mother definitely has a crew cut. Outside the restaurant, some girls show up and are surprised that they are meeting Popo-chan in her family restaurant. The young customer makes a run for it while the gorilla man yells. To catch the dine and dasher, the young customer gets thrown off by a girl in milliseconds in front of the restaurant. He really had bad luck today because the Merry Universe gang is here, and the one to subdue him is no one other than Aru. Popo-chan cannot believe that the gang came all the way to her house to pick her up. Ria thinks that the timing worked out too well. Aru-chan thinks that her mother is amazing and wants to become her disciple. Popo-chan warns her to not even think about it. They did not know that her family runs a restaurant, and even though Popo-chan cuts out on practice all the time, she still helps out at home. They find it admirable, but then again, who can say no to a mother like that? Aru so wants Popo's mother to teach her strong ways, and Yumin comments that she is also kind because she gave them some of the extra food she had. Popo-chan has had enough of listening about her mother, and she is annoyed that the gang received the extra food, so she tells them to give back the Tupperware. They have never seen Popo-chan act like this, but she is not done. She demonically asks who blabbered out her address, and the most innocent human replies that it was Mr. Shrimpfield. Mr. Shrimpfield is actually the manager of the Merry Universe and has a very common name, Ebra Kasuk. He is glad to see all of them at his office. But Popo-chan is not so happy because he let her address be exposed to the rest of the gang. Shrimpy apologizes, but in his defense, he says that Popo-chan is always late. Ria says that it is karma, but Popo-chan simply pouts. Mr. Shrimpfield invites them to sit and offers them snacks. He apologizes for calling them all the way to the office and offers them some CPUs and barley tea because he does not want them to get a heat stroke. He then offers them Castella cake, but ticks Aru off because he is acting like their grandmother. Mr. Shrimpfield says that he is just trying to break the ice, but Aru thinks that there is no more ice to break. He finally gets to business and tells them that they have been summoned here to help him pack the merch. Aru is pissed off that he only called them here for just that, and he shrinks in fear. The ever-positive Yumin states that if they all help, the work would be done in no time, but knocks down the merch during her sermon. Popo-chan says that is going to take a lot more time now, but she is not helping. Even a bit. Yumin helps collect the merch from the floor while she thinks that at a time like this, Kimya would surely give her a thumbs up and thank her for the typical clumsiness. However, no one expected that even Mr. Shrimpfield thinks that Yuru Oda would have liked this little slip-up. He even asks his name, and Yumin blushes when she tells him that his name is Kimya. He says that Kimya is dependable and comes to every show. Financially, he is glad that Kimya comes. Mr. Shrimpfield even says that Kimya loves being there for Yumin, and she remembers his confession, which renders her blushing. Mr. Shrimpfield says that they could do with a few more like him, but Yumin turns her head away. However, Mr. Shrimpfield says that he is also lacking a bit, and when he sees passionate fans like Kimya, he also feels somewhat rewarded that he was able to show everyone their appeal. Yumin is touched that he is acting like he is their manager, and he needs to remind her that he is the manager here, but he guesses that he is lacking in the respect department. When he sees that the girls are already doing the job, he feels heartwarming to stop yapping because the prints are off-center. While Muchan and Ria want shrimp fried rice because they are hungry, one way or another, they are done with packing, and now the gang is hungry and wants to go to Popo-chan's house, who warns them. However, Mr. Shrimpfield has something else to announce. Merry Universe is having an offline meetup. Mr. Shrimpfield announces that Merry Universe is going to have an offline meetup, and this will be the first outing for the group. Aru attacks him with her fingers because he should have told the news beforehand, but he says that he was worried that they would not help him if he announced it earlier. Yumin is still processing the information and is excited that she will be able to meet Kimya somewhere other than stage venues. A few days later, after the performance, Kimya comes to meet Yumin as usual. She is glad that he came again, and he is even wearing the towel from her merch. He comments that there have been a lot of newcomers recently, so Yumin says that maybe due to the video that went viral, but in the end things cooled off a bit. Still, everyone got more fans except her. Kimya cannot fathom the fact that he is the only fan she has and believes that there is some supernatural force working against her. The otaku says that she is so appealing and cute the way she cannot do a lot of things, and it is commendable that she works so hard without anyone noticing. He has a long list, it seems, but Yumin cannot handle it because his love is too much for her weak heart. She has to smirk as if she fully expected him to say that, but this otaku really showers her with praises. She asks if he is the one to feel embarrassed, but the otaku asks with clear eyes if he said something he should be embarrassed about. Yumin is frustrated because she is getting played by him again, and she wants to make him all flustered every now and then. She really wants to find his weakness, but she does not know that Kimya is glad that he can see her many different faces. He mentions that he saw the official announcement of the offline meetup. However, Yumin complains about having a barbecue after a photo shoot in this hot weather. However, she says that since he is always coming to support her, she can spend a little time with him. She is actually super excited and has a full plan of busting out the floating rings to find out who swims faster. But she is quick to mention that she is only doing that as a bit of fan service. However, Kimya apologizes to her because he cannot swim, and since he always had bad eyesight, he would not be able to see underwater. Yumin internally makes a super smug face because she just found his weakness, even though she is a bit sad that she lost her swimming plan, but she finally found a chance to get an upper hand over him, so she starts teasing him that he cannot swim even at his age. She calls it a shame, but Kimya remembers all her more shameful scenes, but like a true fan, does not say anything because he has another strategy up his sleeve. He says that it is incredibly shameful, and that is why he would not be able to have fun at the offline meetup. He even becomes all depressed when he says that an otaku like him would just destroy the vibe, so it is better if he does not go at all. Yumin starts panicking because if he does not come, she will be all alone grilling meat at the beach that would taste like her salt. So she suddenly becomes very supportive as she says that Kimya does not need to worry because swimming is not the only thing they can do at the beach. She wants to say more, but the staff member comes to inform them that the time for the meetup is over. Kimya obliges, but they become speechless when there is no other fan for Yumin, so the staff allows Kimya to come back. Yumin supposes that he does not hate going to the beach, but Kimya tells her that it is high on the list of things he likes. He has always been someone who lived in the shadows, so he does not know how he should have fun. Yumin is not much of an outdoor person herself, and it has been years since. She has been to the beach, but she knows that it would be different if Kimya was there, so she grabs his shirt and asks if he is coming to the offline meetup. Kimya tells her with a straight face that he would absolutely go to the meetup, but Yumin gets pissed off because he was being all serious just moments ago. Kimya assures her that he would still come even if he spontaneously combusts somehow. Yumin finds it gross, but she is relieved that he is back to his old personality. He even says that he will make sure to bring a floating ring so they can float in the water together. Yumin tells him that he is sure to win when he is with her, his Ashi. They will have fun no matter where they go. Kimya agrees and is determined to practice swimming every day, even if it unlike him. His seriousness is scaring Yumin for real now.